Hi guys, so today let's talk about the rules for haircut and hair color for soft gamine. If you are new to my channel, I have a huge Kibbe body types playlist. I'm gonna leave the link down below. Before you watch this video, I recommend you to watch this video where I discuss haircut plus hair color and how they interact with each other, because not every haircut looks good with every hair color. There's just basic rules about this subject, and today we're gonna be more specific about body type itself. Now, David Kibbe also uses 12 season system, how warm or cool you are, how contrasted you are, how muted or clear you are. He has an amazing knowledge about this. We're not gonna talk about this now, but he always is doing his remarks regarding the colors, and he of course suggests you to stay within your palette. If you're muted, you stay muted. If you are clear, you stay clear. So here what he says about soft gamine's hairstyle. Hair should always be soft and tousled with soft layering. Asymmetrical cuts are possible if the hair is curled or waved, although this style should be finger teased for fullness. Feather fringe around the face is always good for you. Length must be kept short. Long hair simply won't work for you because it drags you down and hides your animation, your electricity, and your sensuality. David Kibbe wrote this book in the 80s. I myself have some thoughts about long hair for soft gamines. I just recently made a video, long hair for the body types. You probably want to check that out because nowadays long hair looks slightly different than in the 80s. And 80s long hair, I totally agree with him. Sleek or geometric styles are not for you unless you want to look tired and matronly. So here what he says about soft gamine's hair color. Hair color should be rich and vibrant. If you decide to color your hair, go for a fairly bright shade. Softening your hair color tends to be too tiring on you, but subtle highlights around the face or on top may accent the softly tousled look that is your trademark. You might not look as good when you overlighten in the hair or overstreak in the hair. Now let's look at some celebrities' examples. Thanaway Newton. Naturally, she has medium dark skin, dark hair, dark contrasted eyes. So here we can see she decided to go slightly lighter. It's not bad in my viewpoint. I think it looks quite soft on her. I like the hairstyle too. Maybe the color is a little bit too light for me, so I probably would keep her darker hair here or just have some balayage. So I think this is wigs, and you can see how if hair has severe shape geometrically, that looks slightly alien on them and a bit too heavy. Sometimes we can feel like it's lacking some lightness and air in the hair. This is why David Kibbe said about slight layering for tousled effect, especially layering by the face looks very nice on them because it lightens the severity of the haircut. They normally have quite delicate bones and slight curve that can just look like not their hair, just a little bit too heavy. On the right though, I like it more. I think it's very cute looking with those rounded ends. Here I think the balayage looks great, the hairstyle looks great. I think it's a wig as well, but I think the roots of the hair is a little bit too light for her. So again, that gives that overall lightening effect and washes out her sharpness a little bit. If the roots were darker, I think that would look amazing. But still, sometimes I notice that this kind of big curls, they make soft gamines look like dolls. This hairstyle I like because it's asymmetrical, it's slightly lighter by the face, it doesn't look too thick or too severe, so the geometry is not very heavy. The color is beautiful on her, amazing makeup, amazing clothes, everything is soft gamine here. I love it here as well. I think this type of hair looks great on her. It's a little bit too asymmetrical for me. I would not make this part of the hair on the right that long. I probably would make it slightly shorter, just not to give that too disbalanced thing. But as far as she has her hair behind her ear on the left, that doesn't look as severe. If she didn't have it behind the ear, then we could see huge asymmetry. But just in general, those light waves, slightly tousled, beautiful makeup, and amazing clothes. That is another hair that I just love on her. I adore it. It looks absolutely stunning. That bob on the left, it's very soft gamine bob. Slightly curled, but still we can see some touselness there, some air. Some naughty pieces are sticking out, so it's great. On the right is just wow. You can see it's made not even in a rounded shape, but slightly triangular on the sides. Still, it's not too much, not too little. We can see full hair, but some things are slightly sticking out. Absolutely stunning for soft gamines in my viewpoint. Here, it's a little bit too much for me. Gamines don't look as good with huge volume just because their bodies are normally very delicate looking. So for them, if you have just enough volume, it's fine. You will feel it. Now let's go to Winona Ryder. So her natural hair color is dark brown, as I think. Her eyes are quite contrasted and she has very light skin. So just in general, she has a lot of contrast and intensity about her. So every time she's softening her hair color, it's even more visible on women with this coloration. Like here. Hairstyle itself, a little bit too wispy for me. I think it's more 80s. Nowadays, we just don't do this wet effect and it looks like old-fashioned perm to me. If one single wave of a hair would not be that thin, but they would be more in chunks, that would be much more modern. Here's our brassy stage. Again, I'm not sure, maybe it's just red hair, but on these pictures, the tone of the hair is more brassy than it was in real life. In my viewpoint, it just looks light on her. Overall lightening effect, blurring her contrast, blending her facial features, making her slightly tired looking, and also long hair. What saves the situation here is bangs. I think this is what makes that long hair not as heavy looking, not as dragging her down. Here again, we can see that overall lightening effect. Again, I think that is just too light for her. Her eyes, her brows, they don't have enough support. Hairstyle is nice, in my viewpoint, a little bit too much wet effect. Too untidy looking. This is that period of time when she had that pixie hairstyle, and I think that is cute on her. When the pixie is slightly longer though and slightly wavy, I think it's still better on her. But if we talk about her face, of course, I think this pixie looks great on her face itself. Again, 90s wet hair effect. I don't think it looks great on everyone. It just looks slightly greasy, I think. It looks great when your hair is on the back and you're making this wet effect, but not on tousled hair. These light ends, I think, look better than overall lightening effect. Maybe not best, but still we can see those dark roots which create that depth and play same song with her eyes. So those light money pieces, they create that slightly shining effect for her skin, but still they don't kill that contrast, which is great. Another 90s hairstyle, that shaggy bob. I think still for soft gamines would be better if it was slightly rounder, a bit more hair. Hair color, I don't know what you guys think, just my very subjective opinion, she looks still better with brown. Like here. I love this. This is very cute. She looks like a doll. The only thing is the hairstyle itself would look better on soft dramatics rather than soft gamines. Is a little bit too much of a volume to me. And that volume, which is too rounded and too stiff, you can see nothing is sticking out. All the hair is kind of rounded. The outline is round. In my viewpoint, is a little bit too much. She looks like a little girl trying to be like her mom. Or looks like she's trying a big wig. In my viewpoint, if she just combed her hair and make it less volumized, that would be amazing. Here, again, that pixie. No money piece this time, overall color, and I think that looks amazing on her. Again, if we saw her head to toe, especially in a dress, probably that hair would be a little bit too short, too staccato looking. Probably we would want something longer, something that would close her ears, more a bob length. Stunning makeup as well, looks great on soft gamines, that smoky eye and that glossy lips. Here, she's more soft gamine looking. Look at that dress. That dress repeats the curves, and that asymmetrical bob that is slightly turned outwards on the ends looks stunning. Another two bobs, I like them very much too. Very soft gamine hair. This hair again, very soft gamine. Beautiful tousled bob. Here, besides the bob, she has this 90s supermodel makeup. I think this is the sexy side of soft gamines. With this kind of makeup, they look more sultry, they look more sensual, but still it suits them very well. They normally look quite cool with dark eyes and lips at the same time. I would not add blush in this case, especially rosy blush or something. Then they would look too clowny or too much like dolls sometimes. Just to keep it in a frame of a modern editorial look, better stick to eyes and lips. I like the hair, even though it's wet. For this particular photo session, it looks just stunning. Same here. She's also trying that boyish outfit, but you can see how she's still curvy, so her suspenders just going around her chest very beautifully and creates that curve. And I love the lips, the eyes, the makeup, the hair's stunning. You can see it's not bob already, it's more like grown pixie, but it already is falling on her ears. It's slightly covering her ears, so that looks beautiful. Here another thing that I like very much, that is her very feminine side, that silk chemise, that beautiful makeup and that beautiful dark slightly tousled hair. And I like the length too, it's still not super long. Now when we talk about long hair, later in her life she started having longer hair, and not every long hair looks bad on soft gamines. I talk a lot about how different gamines can actually make this long hair work for them. In this case, on the left, I like it. because it looks very rich. Probably if we saw her head to toe and she would not wear high heels, we probably would feel like it's dragging her down. But still, I think that kind of hair plus makeup still gives her that lightness. This hair is not too heavy. It looks quite light because of these irregular curls on the bottom. We see some volume, we see some air in the hair, so it kind of lifts her up slightly. On the right though, this is when we start having problem with soft gamines. They sometimes can even look a bit sick with a very sleek and straight hair. Now let's look at the lighter version of soft gamine, Reese Witherspoon. Looks like her natural hair color is dark ashy blonde or medium ashy blonde. Her eyes are blue, her skin is quite light. So normally when these ladies go for darker hair color, I'm not talking just about soft gamines, but just about everyone. This is where we can see that it's just too far from their coloration. Normally they have to exaggerate their makeup. They feel like it's not enough. They feel like their bare face is just too blended, doesn't have any support. So it's quite rare when a woman naturally blonde can look great with the hair color. And normally in the majority cases, if she can't pull that darker color off, it somehow connected to her body type. So there are certain body types who look better with heavier and more geometric hair. Here, same thing. Yeah, she was trying to change her coloration a little bit with the makeup. The black dress, again, everything is making her skin having that gray undertone even sometimes. Here is even darker and she has long hair. It is just dragging her down. Again, of course, as far as she had new hair color, she was trying to make it work. She has this tan, maybe it's a fake tan because she felt like no way she can pull that off with her natural skin tone. That's another thing that I notice. Women who go way too dark, they feel like they don't have enough tan. They either try to tan a lot or they put that fake tan on themselves just to make their skin look more warm, darker. With that skin, they can easier pull that brunette off. Another thing, of course, the makeup. They try to make everything work for their hair, which is not bad. You know, we're all experimenting. Here she has this red hair color and it's not bad for her, I think. And the hairstyle is beautiful in my viewpoint. I still feel like as far as it starts being quite close to her skin color, that angularity of hers is showing more as a contrast because it blends too much with the skin. So we need some contrast with her. We need bright color like this. Light, bright blonde, buttery color blonde. With her natural roots, looks great. Yeah, it's straight bob. It's asymmetrical though, and it doesn't look too sleek. Makeup is beautiful, so I think that works for her. Here she has long hair. She normally wears them long like that, and I like them. It can be straight hair or it can be slightly wavy or curly. She normally does with a central parting or side parting, and I think that all works great on her because she almost never has this extremely sleek and solid hair. I feel the air in her hair. I like that buttery color. I think it suits her skin tone, her eyes, her lighter coloration. She doesn't have to exaggerate anything anymore to make herself look fresh and healthy, and that's all she needs. Now let's look at Halle Berry. Again, medium dark skin, dark brown or even black hair naturally, I'm not sure. When it's too warm for someone who has cool coloration, sometimes it can accentuate some green undertones in their skin. So I think in her case, she's a little bit more olive in her skin tone. This is why every time they go for that orangey color, and I don't think it's brassy looking. It's just more like orangey brown, reddish brown color. It was actually very popular in the 90s, so many women would go for that color. But on her, I think it accentuates that green undertone in her skin. First thing, and second thing, it looks like overall lightening effect. Just a little bit blending her contrast. Here she has this wig, and this wig is too high for her. Definitely soft gamines have more delicate bone structure. That hair would look great on Sophie Loren, would look great on soft dramatics, but not soft gamines. They have smallish bones, doll-like facial features pretty often, so that hair looks like they got a wig of their mom. If her volume was not as exaggerated, that would be already nice. Hair color, again, is not bad for me. It's quite beautiful red, actually. It doesn't give me any brassy undertones in that hair. I'm just not sure that it fits specifically to her. She looks a little bit green. This hair color is great. Hairstyle, no, because it's too geometric for soft gamines normally. It's not flattering for her curves. If it was slightly curvy, that would be great. Here she is having that long hair. As far as it has some volume and curls and it has bangs, I think that suits her as soft gamine. I think if soft gamines have this type of long hair, they would look very cute. Only women with curly hair can afford that. Women with very straight and thin hair normally will have to spend so much time to style it like that all the time. So they would have to go with straight and sleek hair. So that is the only downside. Rather than that, if you have that air in your hair, it's not too long looking, I think you're good. The color is a little bit too light for me, but not bad. It's still quite intense, so I like it. Here, I like the hair color. This balayage with light streaks gives her skin that glow. The only thing I don't like is the volume again. They are way too delicate for that huge amount of volume. Probably if her hair was exactly like that, with this type of curls, with that bangs, with that length, but not that much volume on top, she would look stunning. Here she has that platinum blonde hair. I think it's a wig, of course. And you know, not bad. It requires certain styling, certain haircut, and certain clothes. If she would want to wear that type of a hairstyle. Maybe I would make darker roots still, just to make it less artificial, less Barbie doll, and more like modern stylish woman vibe. But still, the color itself suits her. Her skin is shiny. Here she has this hairstyle and hair color that normally looks great on naturals. And actually that suits to her too. The only thing that I don't like here is, again, a bit too much volume. I like that her roots are dark and I like this lighter streaks of color by her face. It makes her skin shine. Here, I actually like the contrast. The hairstyle though is a bit too boyish for them. When we see them head to toe, we can see that curve that they have, or double curve. They just doesn't match to the curves and we would actually see that. This hair I also like very much. Again, a little bit too natural for me, a little bit too high, too much of a volume. If we talk about hair color, I still like it. I think dark roots make their job in supporting her eyes and her contrast, and those light streaks of color make her skin shine. Soft gamines look great with money pieces. This is one of my favorites of her looks. I like this hairstyle on her. Beautiful asymmetrical bob with curls, and these curls are quite glamorous actually. They're not super tousled, but still in the end we can see that lightness. It's not that severe geometry, it's not that heavy hair on her. It's very light, and the dress is very cute, so I love it so much. Now let's go to Olsen sisters. I just wanted to show you several examples. They have light eyes, light skin, and blonde hair naturally, at least when they were kids. Then 90s era. Long hair, lighter at the top, darker in the ends. And I already talked about this so many times. It's one of the big no-nos for me in terms of hair colors. It's just opposite to what nature is doing. Your roots have to be slightly darker. Your ends have to be lighter just because your hair thinner on the ends. So the sun naturally is lightening the ends of your hair much faster. So every time your roots grow, they are darker because they are in your natural hair color. They always used to have long hair. So here we can see two different hairstyles and two different hair colors, which is a great example. I'm sorry, I just don't remember who's who. So the blonde one has slightly shorter hair, straight parting, beautiful waves, and that bright balayage. I love it very much. I think it's very soft gaminish, and she is wearing that platforms so that hair is not pulling her down. The red hair, we can see here then, if the hair is too long, sometimes that pulls them down. On the other hand, that gives that vibe of a doll or a Disney princess, which is not bad in my viewpoint, but many things depend on what style you're choosing for yourself, because these girls are actresses and they are very much in fashion. So they always are wearing different kinds of interesting clothes and they're creating a certain look for themselves. So that might work for them. If you go for just classic regular style for yourself and you don't want to attract a lot of attention with your super extravagant looks on a daily basis, then that hair can really pull you down. What helps here is those untidy curls, I think. It would be a bit worse if the hair was sleek and straight. They love to make different kinds of updos, and I like both of them. I like this hair on the back and that bun on top. And I think that hair on the back also works because it's not extremely sleek. Here, I like this too. And they look like nymphas, fairy tale creatures here. Again, they really think through their outfits. They know exactly how they want to look. I think they are absolutely aware about how tiny they are, and they are choosing elements in their wardrobe that actually for tall women. I think they know it and they play with it very successfully. I like the makeups here. I like hair colors. But again, I like it on them. Probably if I saw another soft gamine wearing just very calm, classic, regular style, maybe that would drag them down. This is when long hair actually is making soft gamines look more tired and even sick sometimes. We had similar example with Winona Ryder, especially that she's wearing that long vertical line dress to the very bottom that is adding to that effect. For example, if she had color blocks and shorter lines, that long hair would not drag her down as much. Now on these pictures, I still like that long hair on them, how they can incorporate that boho hair in their style. Central parting, untidy hair that looks nice and cute on them. And on the right picture, we can actually see what they are going for and the fact that they are tiny. So I think here it works. If you look at the picture on the left, even though they are wearing heels, we can see how proportionally that long hair is dragging them down. We see that petiteness. If we look at the picture just like that, we would perceive that there should be longer women. But then as soon as we open the bottom part of the picture, we can see, oh, they're actually tiny, you know? And if they had bob hairstyles here, we would not have this effect anymore. But again, as I said, it's a style choice, which is very thoroughly thought through in my viewpoint. They have their own story to tell, and if you are one of these people, definitely you can make it work for yourself. If you really want something, don't stop yourself. It's just be aware of what it does to your overall look. Basically anything you can make work for yourself, because your look is not just hair. Hair matters very much, but it's not just hair. It's also clothes that you're wearing, shoes, makeup, and colors and patterns. All that matters. In many of my videos, I give so many different tips for soft gamine, so you probably already have an idea how you can balance this or that look. If you have long hair and you definitely sure that you don't want to cut them, just think about the silhouette more, the clothes that you're wearing slightly more. Balance your hair with your clothes and you will be absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.